All right, what's up, everybody? We're back for episode number 4. We're gonna be doing a defensive preview. How you doing today, top dog? Now you're back in the working world.
Oh man, how's it going, bro? I'm glad to be back in the working world. How about yourself, man? I know school just started back for you guys, man. How's it rolling? You in the
Man,
thick
it's a
of it
good
now?
little slow start, but man, I think the kids gonna be all right, man. I think it's gonna be all right. So I think I'm feeling okay today with that. So just looking forward
Okay.
to the rest of the school year. But now it's time to kind of just get into overall defensive preview. But first, we're gonna start with Mississippi State stats from last season because we know that's gonna be very important. All right. All right, so let's just look. I mean, y'all, I ain't gonna read all this. Like I said, in the words of Bubble Dub, we were trash last year on defense. Like, I mean, we literally was the only thing we were decent in was turnover margin, and that wasn't even that special. Oddly enough, our red zone defense wasn't half bad, I guess, considering, but we weren't being don't break. We was bending a lot.
Did we really have a lot of goal line drives? Though is the question.
Yeah,
Like you said, defense was trash last statement. I think that's an understatement for our defense last year. They were just flat out terrible. That's the worst I done seen since 2002, 2003, since the main season, whenever that was.
Mm-hmm.
And that's the worst. That's the worst of the worst, man. I seen last year, man. But you know what? They do have promise. They did have a lot of promise. I just think my overall thought of the defense from last year is we didn't have our guys in there yet, right? We had our first team in there, and it was pretty solid. But when those guys got tired, you turn around, we had high school players, and they kept us in the game long as the offense was humming. And we had a couple lucky breaks through that. You know what I'm saying? So people was trying to take the top off us and realize, hey, them guys did have some fight in them, but they got wore down so fast because two things, right? Once, like I just said, we didn't have no backups to the backups to the backups, right? Two, right? Our offense was kind of like the Leach's offense. It's run fast offense, you know. So when you have those two factors in, you're gonna gas those guys out, get tired. That's kind of like any team, you know what I'm saying? They got to go over there and rest, especially with the defense. You taking that grind, that pump and grind over and over and over and over again. Hey, trust me, them hits hurt. They hurt. So after a while doing that for 60 minutes, hey man, it's tough.
One other thing I look at is just, you got the reason we probably had takeaways because we had a couple of really talented players. You got a Kelly Jones, you got guys like that, and people really didn't throw toward him. So that's the thing. He kind of wasn't playing with much around him, and he still was able to excel. Imagine if he get a couple things to work with. You know that Isaac Smith was hurt last year. Mm-hmm. You know that Will Whitson ended up getting hurt. Those are still two players. I think that's the thing. Even Mississippi State fans, we end up, hyping up this guy or this guy is going to be this impact player. To compete with the big dogs, you need more than that. And you think about that year where we're number one in the nation. Mm-hmm. I go back and look at them highlights, man. We had some guys on that team. You had Beniquez Brown, Richie Brown. I want to say Bernard McKinney was on the team from
he was. He was in the middle.
Chris Jones. You had some dudes who played in the league.
Yep.
It's like
Preston Smith too.
Yeah, Preston Smith. You had some pieces. Players that really can get busy. So. And then it wasn't no one guy show. Like, you had some on that team. So, to really compete, you need more than one or two impact players. I do think, we talk a lot about Camario. That one player can elevate you.
Right.
But, everybody talks about, Cam Newton didn't have much on offense, but they had a couple of decent defensive players that year. Cam Newton, that's probably the greatest job ever for any team player. Right. You just look at what he had around because we can talk about all these great players in history. Joe Burrow, everybody was like, man, he was so great. He wasn't that hot his junior year, and he had like 30 dudes drafted or something like that year. So it's like,
right. Joe Burrow, that 2019 team, man, bro, you could put me out there, and I would have shined like Burrow.
Might have had a couple
Chase and Jefferson on in. Clyde Elair. You had freaking Randy Moss son. Bro, that team was loaded.
Mm-hmm.
They were loaded. The only other team that was loaded like them was the Alabama.
Miami.
No, Alabama.
Miami 0-1?
I mean, Alabama was loaded that year though. They was loaded. They just got caught a lucky break. Tua freaking lost that game for them.
Oh, you're talking about just that season.
Yeah.
But, I mean, most people talk historically because put that team up there with any team historically as far as just being able to, what they had on their team. The only team historically that had more talent than them probably was Miami in 0-1. Like that's probably the only team that was more talented.
I'm telling you right now, man. If Tua wouldn't have fumbled that ball, it would have been a different story.
Well, that goes.
They had the same amount of elite talent on there as Chase did. They just had an unfortunate event.
Well, I think everybody look at what some of the players from LSU end up being able to do in the league. I mean, Jamar Chase and Justin Jefferson are still two of the top receivers in the league. So I think that's what people look at.
Them boys still in there too. Him and Ruggs. Only one I don't think still in there. Him and Ruggs.
Well, from Alabama, yeah, but
he was well on his way though.
Yeah, well, I'm talking about they won the championship. I mean, they won the championship, and just from their team, I mean, they had some. That was a loaded team. Coach O knew how to recruit talent. I'll say that much. And it's crazy how similar they are to Miami 0-1, where they maybe didn't have the best coach. And then somebody else kind of put that team together for Larry Coker. Essentially, he was just there. The players pretty much handled everything. So it's so much talent you almost couldn't screw it up. But I guess we can move on to our team because obviously we ain't had them type of players. All right, so let's get to it. I don't know what's this. Okay, I don't know why I was doing that. All right, guys, so let's get to the overall preview. I don't know, I messed up when I generate the thing. It didn't go out as big as I wanted it to be, but of course we already looked at the stats. We're gonna kind of discuss that already, but then we're gonna discuss the projected starters, the defensive line, the linebackers, and then the defensive backs. So we're gonna break down each position, and then maybe we can be prepared to give them a grade overall for what we think about that position. All right, let's get to it. All right. So the main focal point of this is that Mississippi State defense. You got Zach Arnett returning as defensive coordinator. You've already discussed the Arnett effect. But as you look here, some of our key players, you have Will Whitson, who we discussed before, Amari Williams, Kelly Jones, Isaac Smith, and then you got Braylon Womack. Before we get to the overall positional breakdowns, who's another guy that you think, and that's another player I was hearing someone talk about earlier that's competing for that starting job at corner is Jet Jefferson. Apparently he's making a push. So what do you kind of think about? Is anybody else that we probably should be talking about as far as a potential impact player?
Yes, I'm hearing a linebacker that I don't see on our list. Fat Clark.
I think his name was Fat Forrest. He's got like a weird thing. He got a weird thing. He got a weird thing going on.
But I'm hearing that he done took a real big step forward. Say he done lost some weight, got trimmed up, look like a real solid linebacker. He's ready to take this step. So, hey, man, red shirt. I mean, he a junior. Hey, they say he been waiting for him to come on. I guess he done turned it on. Hey, I want to see what it looks like. Like you said, the Jefferson, I heard he done locked down in that first spot on safety opposite of Tyler Lockett. I think who else that I heard about? I heard the Gilbert guy is showing out, but they coming with experience, those guys.
And we'll get to that with the positional breakdown, but just going with that, just looking at that backup safety position, I think that's where, Jerron Manning can get that. If they do give him that extra year, I can see him plugging in there and kind of solidifying some things there. Even as a backup, I think he's valuable. But I like we make it. I don't think it's going to be a one-man show with Kelly Jones this year. I'll say that much. I think it's enough players where they can make a reasonable impact.
Right.
But one position as I'm kind of like looking at things that I'm excited to talk about is the defensive line. So we've talked about Will Whitson, but I want to highlight Jaray Bledsoe. Jaray Bledsoe, he was named the 2026 Feldman Freak. Now that don't mean anything football-wise per se, but if anything, I'll say with this defensive line, I mean, you at least see with the 3-star. Will Whitson was looking promising before he got hurt last year.
Right.
Dealyn Evans, looking at his just highlights and different things like that, seems like the talent is there. It's there, but Can you turn that, potentially get coaches fired? Can you turn that into something? And then you have, of course, like Will Whitson. So, that front three is good. Then you got Travion Williams. He's a guy that came in as a 4-star. He was kind of supposed to be that next three-technique next guy that we have. Now, we run a 3-man front, so you don't have that true, 4-3 technique guy. Right. But he was supposed to be that next guy. He just hasn't turned into that at State. I don't know why. He just hasn't. And then you have Calvin Dinkins. So we don't have incredible depth at that D-line position. This is also where Malik Silla might come in if we can get those. Those are two pieces, Jerron Manning, we'll talk about the safeties. And then you have that D lineman or Malik Silla, I think he played linebacker, but he's kind of a rush guy. This is where I can see them playing a part in things if they, are able to get eligible. So what do you think about our D-line so far?
Man, that's like I've been explaining to you like over and over and over throughout the summer. We have an unproven D-line. The guys that we had one guy, right? And you've seen what the season turned into when that guy got hurt, right? Nobody else fit the bill. So we were relying on the secondary and the linebacker core, right, to fill in the gaps. We just had gap fillers. I still don't think we got a lot better, right? If they're going to take a step forward because of experience, of course, everybody takes a step forward. But how big of an impact is that going to make? I just don't see it making a big impact this season. With the transfers, I heard we had a couple transfers come in. I got short-term memory loss, so I forget some of their names right off the top. But I heard, we got one guy that lost a bunch of weight. He was like 360. Now he down to like the 330. They said he really done turned it on in training camp. Now that he done lost some of the weight, got to be a little bit mobile. Said he was a fourth down gap filler. Other than that, man, I'm having high hopes, but I know with Arnett, he's gonna bring a lot of structure to that defense, and along with the blitz. I think that's going to help them out a lot. Going to cause a lot of issue with them because you can't just focus on just the linemen, because with the twist with the linebackers and the twist with the linemen, it's automatically going to cause confusion, right? Once you start seeing it. And Arnett has that very movement type defense where you don't know where it's coming from. He try to disguise everything. It ain't like it. I mean, when he snapped the ball, that's when you know. You know what I'm saying? So I think his aggression is going to help us along with our secondary, right? Because that's going to help out the defensive line. Because I think with those twists and the blitz that Arnett like to shoot, you ain't gonna really need a 5-star guy with that type of influence, because you're beating them on skill and technique, right? You're not really power and just raw talent. You're just beating people with technique at that point.
Well, and I think the thing is with our D-line, all you need most times is that one guy. Last year it was something like Will Whitson was emerging to that. A lot of people were excited about that. You need that one guy kind of be man. Jaray Bledsoe, they're saying he's a freak, and even looking at his stats from last year, he was solid. 28 tackles at D tackle, or especially as a nose tackle, solid. Can you be that guy that suck up 2 blocks? If he can suck up 2 blocks, we're about to get to the linebackers that can really open things up. And Dealyn Evans, just off pure talent, that's probably our most talented D lineman. Just when I look at his measurables and things like that, he's our most talented guy. So he's the guy, if you're talking about being a star at that D line, just from a pure talent standpoint, it is him. So, all those guys play up to their potential. Is just thing I worry is after that, I don't know how much depth there really is.
Right.
I mean, Travion Williams, are these guys like elite players? I don't know. So it's kind of like we need that guy. Yeah. But at the D line right now, like I don't know if any of them. Honestly, my grade, I would give them probably incomplete right now.
Right. I give them a 3. I mean, they're out there. They're gap fillers. You know what I'm saying? But that's what you need, in this style of defense, this aggressive defense, because like I was explaining to you earlier, it's more of technique than it is. Because you take a Booby Watson on Tyrus Wheat and a Jet Jefferson. Jet Johnson. Them guys excelled in that defense, but they weren't no 5-star players. They wasn't no elite guys. You know what I'm saying? Now I know Tyus Weeks still in the NFL. You know what I'm saying? And it highlights your talent. You know what I'm saying? Because a lot of those linebackers are heavy set linebackers that's gonna be up on the line, doing line things, you know, in that 3-3-5 defense. So,
well, and I think this thing with Arnett coming in is being able to unlock those guys and just let them go. I think sometimes some coaches got that stuff where they make guys think so much, and I think people misinterpret that. They're thinking that players, that means they're not smart. That means they're not this. No, sometimes guys play better when you just let them play instead of make them overthink things. Got them playing some wax team. I think I saw something Warren Sapp was talking about when he was a rookie. And, you know, people were ready to call him like a bust or something like that because, you know, most of the people, you don't take D tackles or those guys high, maybe like a DN, but not a D tackle. Right. You know, people were call him a bust, and people didn't know that the coach or their teammate, guy named Hardy Nickerson, they had the pitch on every play.
Right. Great.
So they suck up all the blocks and he go eat. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, you just doing a responsibility instead of actually being asked to make plays, go one-on-one, do those things. So a guy like Arnett coming in, you're going to be having all these different combinations. I think he'll have a lot of fun with Isaac Smith. That's what he recruited for in the first place. You know, he recruited him, and he was the head coach his freshman year. Then, like I said, Amari Williams is a guy. I think Michael Nickerson is a guy we're going to get to with the linebacking core. I think will play a big part too. But I think we don't have an elite D-line guy. Not nobody that's established. We don't.
And then the thing about it is, right, this is my question to you, right? That's fine and dandy with the twist of things, right? What are we going to do when you have to line up and bow up and play against the run is my question. Like, because I didn't see no line pushers last year. You know, I don't have no line pushers. I don't have no line pushers.
We are live, y'all.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, man, we don't have that type of guy. Right. I think they would say we need somebody to be a dude up front. All you need is one. You don't need, I don't mean he play all the snaps, but you need one guy that the other team know, hey, when Saturday come, that dude, you better be ready when he come off that ball. And I think that's all we need is that one guy like that, and it's gonna open us up for the next thing, which is our linebacking core.
Oh, hold on, real quick. There's one other thing I want to say, and then I'm going to move on. Okay, Ty Warren though. You know what I'm saying? The all defensive line coach, right? We got rid of David Turner. Well, we didn't get rid of him. He decided to step down and move on, right? And we brought in an NFL guy. I think with the experience that he will create, he will be able to bring that out of someone. Who that someone is, I'm pretty sure he's gonna stay somewhere. And just about where the coaches been talking, it's a lot of people that they haven't really been mentioned. They've been keeping quiet. And I think he's gonna find that one guy. I think we got that one guy, but we holding them behind.
Well, you don't want people having tape or having an idea of what you're gonna be coming with. So I can't get this.
Because right now we're doing a whole bunch of speculation. You mean to tell me an NFL guy can't pick out talent?
Well, I think too is getting them. I mean, we kind of alluded to it a little bit when we talked about how these young guys are different. I think David Turner has done a great job, and we talked a little bit, about him, kind of giving him his flowers and guys that he's coached. But that was, and somebody that teaches, that was 6-7 years ago. Some of his key players that he was able to mentor and coach. This is a different generation. Right? You got NIL. You got these guys that are a little different. They're trying to get to the league, and I think that's what having a guy who played in the league that was good a great player in the league. So it's like that's a different respect level. Yeah. One of these kids a little disrespectful one, but I think kind of understanding this generation helps as well because you got to coach them different.
Right.
I mean, I got a friend of mine. She's one of the better coaches in Mississippi, and she says that won multiple state championships. She says she giving the post practice speech. Got girls over there doing TikToks and stuff. So it's
of course.
It's like, I mean, it was a couple years ago she told me this, so it's like it's a different level of somebody teaching them in the classroom. It's a different attention span that is needed for this group. So I mean, we got to lump these kids are part of this generation. So that plays a large role into it, being able to reach these kids and knowing what button to push to get them there. All right. So now let's get to the linebackers. So I mean, the linebackers, and their overall performance is gonna probably be contingent on the D line. So that's the key thing with them. But there's some pieces there. I ain't gonna lie. I like this linebacker, of course, as far as the overall talent level. I mean, of course, you got Amari Williams, Sakari Tillman, TJ Lockhart, or Jalen Smith. So I like that starting group. TJ Lockhart had a solid freshman season, you know, all the drama with him or whatever.
Yep.
Going into, you know, whether he should have ended up at state or not is a whole different question, but you know, he's already started. And just kind of explain the positions to those who might listen and don't understand. Jack Edge, that's kind of like a hybrid position. It's kind of like a linebacker / defensive end. The Mike, most times traditionally the Mike, when you run a 4-3 or a regular scheme, that's your middle linebacker. Now in a 3-4 scheme that looks a little different. They may call the position something different. The Mike and Will could be your two middle linebackers. So, but your Mike is traditionally your middle linebacker, and then your Will is your weak side guy. They tend to not be as big, and they can move. They can play in space. So that's traditionally what that looks like. But yeah, but as far as overall, what do you think about this position? I mean, you were talking about Fat Forrest. I think you got the Fat Clark. I think that was his name.
Yeah, Fat Forrest. Fat Forrest.
Yeah,
that's what they keep calling them on the thing. So you know, they try to disguise names. Maybe I'm trying to disguise names or whatever. But right now, like I said earlier, we had no issue with our linebacker core last year. We had no issue with the defensive linebacker. The defense with the secondary, right? So besides those 1 or 2 places, I mean, Jaray Tillman, awesome, right? Lockhart, awesome. They played. Like I said, is what I want to see is this Fat Clark, right? And then AJ Rice is Jared Rice's nephew, right?
Is he?
I'm pretty sure he is.
Oh, this from like Alabama or something. He is from Crawford.
Yeah, I know. He one of the Jared Rice's nephew, cousins, one of them. I think nephew.
You gotta be from there. Like,
yeah. I heard nothing but great things about him. So I just want a lot of this is like, you know, is what we had going to. We didn't really. I don't remember none of these guys. I don't remember losing nothing at linebacker from last year. Who did we lose from last year? I don't right up because these are guys that I see on tape.
I don't think we lost anybody if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah. So our secondary. I mean, our linebacker core is pretty solid. They always perform solid in the games. Now with this, how well are they going to pick up the Arnett system? Because I don't think none of these guys was there with Arnett. I think Sakari Tillman was, though.
Man, yeah, Sakari Tillman, yeah.
Yeah.
So a lot of these guys are transfers, so no, they won't be with them.
So who knows? It's going to be all about how fast they can pick up, you know, defensive guys. I ain't trying to say that, you know, it's not a lot to pick up. The transition is a whole lot easier versus offense. That's just how, you know, you have your two-way players, you know, in certain positions, because a lot of things it's not going to be different. You probably have seen it before, just different terminology, you know.
Interesting. I guess it's disputed about. I'm looking up the AJ Rice thing. They say he's from Crawford. I'm like, there's no way he's from Crawford. His last name Rice, and he's not related to you. There's no way.
Yeah, that's what I said too.
There's no way. That is too common a name. But yeah, I like that position. We talked about Amari Tillman, so we got to keep going on about him. Just listen to his interviews. I'm just trying to figure out why it didn't work out at Florida State, but I'm glad that it didn't because he's here. I like that starting group.
Florida State's in shambles, man.
Yeah. Man, like I said before, it might have been like a, you know, jack of all trades, but a master of none thing. Right. Like Gillette. I mean, a lot of linebackers had production last year. We're not talking about like guys who were just I8. You know, these guys had production.
Yeah,
so that's what we have to look at. And then adding to that, a guy we don't have him on this depth chart, but Michael Nickerson, I really could see where. I mean, now that you got it where freshmen aren't going to redshirt, so you can find ways to get packages. Why do you not put Amari Williams and Michael Nickerson in a nickel situation? You maybe have 2 down linemen, and you let him and Amari Williams come from the edge. I mean, that's traditional But why not do that? So, get them a package on them third down situations, pull them other guys off the field and just go get it. So, I could see him playing a huge role definitely after this season. But, I'm not guys come along a little slowly, and he might even be a guy that's a typical redshirt candidate, in a traditional setup. But now that guys don't redshirt anymore, it's 5 for 5. Why not play him?
Right. So, I mean, we ain't got no choice but to play him now. You know what I'm saying? Because right now, I feel like if the talent is there, Levy's going to play him. Mm-hmm. If the talent is there, and I know Arnett is that type of person too, because you already said he don't give a doggone if you a senior, a true freshman, or sophomore, or junior, and you've been playing in the system forever. If you can't execute on it and be consistent on a daily basis, guess what he's going to say? You will be on the bench. And he ain't afraid to put you on the bench when you mess up, and that's what I like about
the thing I like about our linebacker, we got a lot of guys that can fly around. Like I said, that's why it's gonna be important to see what that D linemen do, because if they do their part and suck up them blocks, them boys gonna make a lot of plays. Now the key thing is if them guys can get pressure on the quarterback, and what Arnett does with that, because I think he has more to work with this year than he had in his original run, Mississippi State. We had a Errol Thompson. We had a Jet Johnson. We had those corners. We had good corners, Forbes and Emerson. But now you got a guy probably at every level that can make some plays. So it's like, he had Jaden Crumedy and those guys that were pretty good, but having all those pieces together, he's never had that. But I think we got more than he probably had in his time as the Mississippi State coach the first time around. So I think he's gonna be able to do something with these guys. You got some people that can fly around, so I think that's gonna be very important. All right. So now let's get to our corners. And we can close out after that. We can make this a short episode. All right. So our defensive backs, of course, our key players, our dynamic duo. So I'm calling it Kelly Jones and Isaac Smith. And Kelly Jones is a guy that can travel. So what that means is he's got to play both sides. They got an elite receiver, a big time guy. He's 6'4". He can cover that guy. So we know what we got there. And then you got Isaac Smith. So what do you think overall what we got at the safety position? Now that could get enhanced, maybe not according to you, but enhanced by getting Ron Manning potentially back. What do you think we get right now at the DB position?
Hey, at the safety position is pretty solid, right? We already know what we got with Kelly Jones. I want to see what this Jet Jefferson is going to be. I heard he's another Kelly Jones, equal to. That's what I'm hearing from camp. I'm excited to hear about what he does, and I'm gonna do more research on this guy because he's one of those fly under the radar guys, but he's one of the guys you're gonna have to watch out for. And Gilbert, he's been all over the SEC, so I want to see what he does. And Braylon Womack, I want to see him get out there on the field. I want to see what the hype is about. I want to see if he can be that Caleb Downs type player. You know what I'm saying? I want to see if he's gonna be able.
I don't see that, but we'll find out.
Hey, I call it like I see it, man. You know what I'm saying? I want to see if he can get out there and be that type of person. I heard he's elite. Let's see. You know what I'm saying? And he's a Mississippi guy, so I'm gonna represent my Mississippi guys. From truth to truth. So that's what I see in the. That's what I'm hearing. From the defense, I'm like, y'all, I want to see it on the field. I just want to see if these guys can take a jump. Man, we was getting beat. The problem with, other than Kelly Jones, right? Because he has that reaction speed, and his height made up for a lot of blown coverages, right? Because he can catch up and he got speed, right? He got that quickness for a tall player, and he has that reach. So it gonna look like you beat the corner, but he got that makeup speed, right? Outside of him, right? Last season we had nobody, right? And then you keep bringing up this Jerome Manning guy. Turn on the tape. Other than experience, he has nothing to offer for Mississippi State. Let's move on. Right? The season already started.
We're going to flip that one up.
Hey, the season already started, man. Let's go on and move on from the guy that could have been, should have been. Let's move on. We got enough on defense, right, in the secondary to move on with the guy. Let's get some of these guys that we know we're going to have for the next 2-3 years. The time is now. It ain't worried about what we had. That a little bit of experience will change on week 1. Everybody got experience on week 1 after the first snap is snap. Everybody got experience, right? So let's go and get these guys some experience. Worry about somebody that couldn't perform last season. Go on by he didn't make the NFL. He couldn't even make the freaking indoor league. Why are we even here? Why we want to go back there? And then we already week 2 in practice, right? Week 2. Bro, the season almost upon us. 3 weeks we're going to be playing. We're going to be kicking on Dave Wade, right? I'm going to be getting ready for my tailgate instead of doing this. You know what I'm saying? This late at night. We're already going to do this, but late at night. You know what I'm saying? I'll be getting ready for my tailgate on Saturday. So that's just how I feel about Jerron, man. Let's work with the guys that we got, the guys that we here. I'm like Levy. Hey, I'm focused on the guys that's in the room right now. When that comes, right? When that comes, let's hit that when that comes. But right now, we too far in the season. That's like bringing a player in, you know, for a couple weeks. What they gonna learn, bro? You learn a whole new defense that you ain't
honestly though. Like my thing is, I see where you can be slotted in though. Like just to my take, just Kelly Jones. You know, he's automatic. That's the guy you really barely have to take off the field. Quentin Taylor, just Jefferson. If just Jefferson is coming along, you got like a pretty good. That side is solid. You got Isaac Smith. He ain't gonna come off the field much. He's perfect for that kind of like that dog safety nickel position with his size. Jordan Gilbert, I think that's where he can slot in if he come in, because a lot of guys are seniors anyway. So I mean,
they've been there. They already learned it, right? These guys already got experience. What do Gerard got?
I mean, you thinking about like just having a legit 2 deep, because right now if you add him at that, I guess I have it at safety 1, that strong safety position, you got a legit 2 deep. I think Braylon Womack is a guy, really, I want him to become my starting free safety. You know what I'm saying? Because he is that guy with great hands. A lot of his highlights from high school is him playing receiver. So that's a guy you want to kind of come up with, is that position there, that strong safety position where you probably, it wouldn't hurt to have another impact player who's pretty good. We don't need him to cover nobody. He had 90-some tackles last year, so it's hard for me to believe he couldn't help, but it would help with overall depth. You know, our 22, like really nowadays ain't the same as going your 44 versus my 44 when you playing an elite team. But it don't hurt to have a little bit more depth, like the guys get hurt. But I do like the overall makeup of the defensive backfield, because you got some anchors. You got a guy like Kelly Jones who's a legit. I think he's up for the Thorpe Award. You got Isaac Smith, he's healthy. He's perfect for Arnett's defense. I can see him coming after the passer a lot. This guy that don't have to come off the field. You don't really need him to cover. You don't need him doing that. Because truth be told, if Braylon Womack kind of emerges the way everybody wants him to, he can kind of be your guy covering people at that free safety position. He's that type of player. So, you know, you free up an Isaac Smith just to go get it.
So what you're saying is, okay, so which one of these guys, right? If we get Jerron Manning, which one of these guys you willing to give up?
I mean, really, is that, like I said, that's a strong safety position.
Somebody gonna have to go. Somebody gonna have to
go. I'm looking at the guys behind Jordan Gilbert. I mean, say that free safety position, you got Marcus Williams and Braylon Womack, a talented freshman, which, like I said, if things go according to plan, he'll be the starter there. Like, he'll be the guy that you want him to take over that position. So I think that's where you plug them in. And the thing is, some of the stuff it still goes to, now you're able to play all these freshmen, it goes to your building your special teams up. So now you ain't got to worry about not sitting freshmen. You can play a lot of those guys, and then you can put certain guys on special teams. So I think that's the part building the whole team, because I definitely think if you're looking at how terrible we were on defense and the components of offense which we weren't good at, and they're saying we got some developed pieces of the offensive line, the team is going to be better than last year. If we have what we have right now, last year we win 8 games. Like, playing Camario last year, I don't know if that was going to really result in us like winning, because our offensive line was terrible and our defense was terrible. But this year with Camario, and if those positions are improved, there's no reason we can't win 8 games.
Yeah.
Like,
but
definitely 7 for sure.
We had a more favorable schedule last year.
Maybe. Well, we don't, a lot of these teams are going to beat.
Right. We don't have that favorable schedule. We in the thick of it. Hey, after week 1, we're in the thick of it. We're in the thick of it for 8 straight games.
I think that's where you having a dude, as one guy called him, David Pollack, having Camario. That's where that makes up for a lot of that. You know, I always talk about those equalizer talents. We got a couple of those players. You have a Camario. You have a Kelly Jones. Amari Williams is that caliber of talent. Will he do it?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know, but like he's an equalizer of talent. I don't know. We don't have anybody on the offensive line, but having 2 or 3 can go a long way.
Right.
Like you need a bunch more of those guys from when you play the bigger schools, the LSUs, the Bamas, and things like that. But we got a couple of them. And then the rest comes down to coaching. Like, how will Levy be as an offensive coach and overall coach now that he's just handling the team? Instead of you let other people coach the quarterbacks, let other people run the offense, let other people run the defense, delegate that. How good would he be as a head coach? And then we got the pieces to work with. If Arnett can improve this defense to 20 points a game or 22 points a game or something like that. We win more games last year, but you put us in position to win a lot of games because you got the offense going to at least be the same this year. I see no reason at least to say the same.
Yeah, I mean, I'm thinking we're gonna be average of 28 to 30 points.
We averaged 30 last year.
Yeah, so I think we're gonna be somewhere around 30 to 20, between 24 and 30 points, somewhere there per game. But are we going to give up 30 to 20 points? I don't see that happening on this.
No, I don't think so.
With the defensive coaching and the lineup that they brought in, I think they're going to be better coached, right? They're going to be way more locked in, and they know what the road ahead is looking like, right? And guess what? We're not the pick to win nothing. You know what I'm saying? Why not show up and give somebody my best week in and weekend out?
It's almost better when people expecting it from me. Honestly, our team always does better in that situation for some reason.
Right.
We always do better when people don't expect that. And so, I don't know.
I got high expectations for the defense this year. I mean, you ain't got nowhere but to go but up. I think Levy put the right pieces in place for his coaching because a lot of this on the defense, man, was coaching, man. I think those guys. After Whitson went out, their heartbeat went away. And then a couple people with knick-knack injury, lingering injuries. Another thing, right? It kept us out of it. But one thing that I would love to see that they didn't do last year, right? I want to see Kelly Jones travel. I want to see him travel with the best player on the field. Mm-hmm. If you know and we got what's his name on the field? What's the guy from Texas? Ryan Ringo, right? On the field, right? Hey, you with him all game long. Because when he was on your side, you locked him down.
True talk. Like, I don't know if you have a guy that you go off just their overall ability level and you match it up to Kelly Jones. They're a guy that's from the receiver position that's really better than Kelly Jones in this season. And we ain't talking about a Jeremiah Smith or a Malachi Tony, who's kind of a different player anyway. They moved him. So,
I mean, the number one receiver that they drafted this year, Kelly Jones locked him down. Tyson, what's his name? Tyson, the old boy from Arizona State?
Oh, yeah.
Jordan Tyson?
Yeah.
He didn't do nothing in Arizona State. Kelly had him locked down. You know what I'm saying?
He's 6'4" corner. I mean, there ain't too many of those. I mean, traditionally guys, that's all at safety. So. So yeah.
That shit, he shut down Mario Craver. You know what I'm saying? He just didn't have help. At A&M, he didn't have help on the other side. You know what I'm saying? So
yeah. I'll give our defensive backfield probably at least a 7 because I think I measure that. Do you match up with the rest of the SEC? And I think we do.
Yeah.
Now some guys have to emerge, and even looking Jet Jefferson, I guess I had some questions about like where this dude come from, but he was a JUCO guy. Last year he got hurt. So it's not like he magically just became a better player. He was just hurt last year coming from JUCO. So he a guy that maybe just got healthy and now he's starting to ball out. So and so when, like I said, him starting ain't really that crazy. But the thing is, if you got 3 guys at the corner position, you're probably okay. And you can throw in some other guys. Like I said, safety probably could use a little more depth, but like you got a couple sound corners. And really, you got players that can make up maybe for not being as strong as another place. Now, will that lead to winning 10, 11 games? Probably not. Right. But could you win 7 or 8 with that? Maybe. And that's a start for us. Now, I'm not shooting having low expectations. Who knows? Camario could turn into Cam Newton.
Yeah. But ain't that his brother, Quentin Taylor?
No, his brother is JT Taylor.
JT Taylor, yeah.
Yeah,
And what position we got him playing? Because he
safety, I think.
Okay.
He was an athlete in high school. I think that's the best fit for him. He's probably a natural free, so he'll kind of fit that role. I mean, I think he'll be a great special teams player this year.
Yeah.
So, I mean, a lot of our freshmen probably won't play this year. Just looking at it, I mean, I did see, touching on offense again, Caden Capehart. A lot of people saying he's making some noise. So, what you seems like your hype is justified a little bit. Still got to do it on the field, but it does seem like a lot of people think he might actually be able to make a huge impact. So, I'm excited about that too. But overall, obviously we only got a couple weeks now until the season starts. Mississippi State and just what we're gonna be able to do. So I think everybody's kind of excited about that. But I don't know. So I guess we're finna ready to close out, y'all.
I got one question for you, Jeremiah. Just one thing. All right. All right. Outside of the key players on offense and defense, who is your most out of the key players outside of Kamario Taylor and outside Kelly Jones? Who is your MVP for the offense and who is your MVP for the defense? Can't use those two.
Interesting. I want to immediately jump to Fluff Barfield. Whoever plays left tackle.
No, you got to give me a name.
I mean, right now it's either Miles McVay or I think it's Shumpert Perkins. Right now, the two candidates. I think that's going to be the two guys that are going to be the MVP if they ball out. And on defense,
that's easy.
That's a tough one. I mean, Will Whitson, I think, is the easy answer. But I am gonna put a little faith in Dealyn Evans having that legit guy up front. I think Dealyn Evans can end up being the MVP if he plays up to his talent level. I think it's gonna unlock this defense.
Okay.
It's gonna make Kelly Jones and Isaac Smith. You got to worry about a Jerron Manning if he comes back getting beat. Because Kelly Jones being able to do what he did last year, being able to having to cover as long as he had to cover. That's pretty impressive. Right. So for him, I think the thing is if you can get somebody to get that pressure on the quarterback, you know what I'm saying? I think that's very important. So yeah, I would say that those are my two players. I'm just gonna go with probably the players I think if those guys are the real MVP. The offensive line being because those are our two key positions, the D line and the O line. Those are the positions that struggle. We have talent at all these other our skill positions, linebacker or the back end of the defense. That's there. Problem is that can the front end do this? Because that's what's going to determine if we can beat the big dogs.
Okay.
And we'll know that early.
Okay.
So who are your MVPs?
Nope. That was my question to you. That's the end of the show, fellas. Hey, I will give you mine at a later date, but that's the end of the show. Hey, it's good chopping up with y'all. Hey,
we're looking forward to probably having, getting ready for the real preview shows for the games, and then maybe, finding some time for interviews and things like that as we kind of get ready for the season now.
Right.
Now information on depth charts, things like that coming out. So we're really going to, the team's really going to start to take shape. So we can really start making some real predictions about what we're going to see.
Yeah.
All right, y'all. I just want to thank y'all for listening. This has been myself, Jay Short,
and this
Top Dog 12. Thanks for listening. Just look out for more content as we move forward. Thank you for listening. All right, y'all. Peace out.
Every touchdown got the whole state celebrating. Win or lose, we still stand 10 toes. Loyal to the Maroon wherever life goes. The past built the foundation, now the future's calling. Another